Howdy, wildflowers and friends. I'm ready to teach. Are you ready to learn? Yeah, I got the whiteboard. I'm putting 2 lines to begin with. We're going to work on some blends. I have 2 lines because we're going to have 2 sounds. And we're going to have 2 letters. They match. 2 letters, 2 sounds. That's always nice when that happens. Here's N-T. The T looks like a J. That confuses kids, so watch. I'll take off the bottom. T's can look like this, straight up and down, or straighter. Sound. I'm going to put there you go. I'm going to put a line in front of it for another sound. We need a vowel sound. I'm going to connect them with a smile. They're a blend. The kind of goes right together. Yeah, so let's do it. Let's put a vowel sound. It could be ant. Hey, that's a bug, right? Ant. We might be using the E. E by itself says ent. That's not a word. That's a nonsense word. So we made a word, and we made some nonsense. And that's okay, because they all become parts of bigger words. The I by itself says int. Hey, there's the word in. That's a sight word we know. Int. Again, another nonsense word. O says by itself, aunt. There aren't very many words with aunt, but there's a couple. And we might be using the U. In fact, let's see how many we can get together in this video. We can use. The U by itself says unt. If you've got your notebook and your pencil ready, your pencil and paper, you can be writing these. This is just an intro. Get ready. We're going to start with this one, unt. We're going to put a sound in front of it. 1 line, 1 letter. So now, here's a word. H. H says, oops. All right, let's see if I can do that better. Hunt. Go hunting. Hunts. We can put an S on it or hunt. I hunt around for my keys. Hunt. Now we're going to do a football players. Punt the ball. They use their foot to punt the ball down the field. Yeah. Get the ball. They punt it away so the other team can have it. Yes. Let's do a really tiny puppy or a kitten in a group or a litter. They call them a litter. Is the unt. All of these were kind of nice and easy because they had 4 letters and 4 sounds. Yeah. Let's do some nonsense because that comes in handy. For example, let's do S. Sunt. Nonsense, but it's important. F. Unt. Funt. Nice. If I spend too much time on the U, I'm not going to get to the other ones. So here we go. I can't think of many that have that sound. Aunt. This is a little like curve. That means say Here's one on the computer or when you're typing. You pick a certain shape for your letters. That's called font. Yeah. I don't know. Can't think of too many. So let me do a couple of nonsense. Just so we get used to that sound. Aunt. Mont. Yeah, like Monte Cristo. Mont. Let's do a W, aunt, want. Guess what? There is a word want, but it doesn't have an O that's making the sound. It is a heart letter, a heart word. That means we have to learn it by heart. It does say want, but it has an A. That's a tricky one. We're looking at an A, so we see an A, but we're making the O sound. W, aunt. I want to learn how to read. Want. Is that crazy or what? Most times when you have an A, it says aunt. So if you go on and on complaining about something or talking mean, you do this. Aunt. Rant. You're ranting about it. If I want to change that R to a P, dogs do this when they're hot. They pant. If they're panting, I'm going to put the ing. That's a suffix that we've been learning about. And look what happens. We have two syllables or chunks. Pan. Look at that. We break up the NT. What used to be a blend is not blended. Pan-ting. We have two syllables. By putting that ending on there, we now added a syllable. Panting. The dog is panting because it's hot. Let's do, now watch what I'm going to do here. There's quite a few. Nope, I'm going to do one sound here, but two letters. Ant. We're back to this. And I'm going to put a C and an H. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Our eyes see 5 letters, but we say ch, ant, chant. If we are chanting, now we get to break it. Now we break it right here. Usually they break syllables with a dot. Chanting. Chanting. Here's where the chan goes. That's a closed syllable. That vowel has consonant letters on both sides. And then ting. This one is too. Chan, ting. Yeah. All right. What did we work on? The O, the U, and the A. So I'm going to get rid of that A. And we're going to do I. Yep. We're back to int. There you go. There's our blend. Int. So now we're going to do this. Watch this. What is it? Lint. If I change it to an H, it's hint. Int. Hint. Hint. Well, let's do a nonsense word with a B. Int. Bint. Let's go back to this one. Nope, we're running out of time, so we got to go to the E. TT's trying to stick to the rule. 10 minutes. Ent. Ooh, there's a T. Ent. Tent. If I put a sound back here, I didn't add a syllable. Tense. I added a sound, but it's not its own syllable. A syllable has a vowel sound. Tense. Like camping in tents. Here's a sight word. Went. Here's another sight word. There's quite a few sight words. I have this one. I sent you a box. Sent. And this one, when you have a C and it's followed by an E, it makes an S sound. Isn't it something? Scent. Scent. And just to make it fun and harder, because you can, a challenge, that's called a challenge. I'm going to put a bossy R, E-R. It just says You see 2 letters, but we only say S. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 letters. Since I put an ending on there, I'm going to break this apart. They're not blending. Nope. Center. Center. Yep. Put the flower piece in the center of the table. That means the middle. And this is making the S sound. Yeah. Why? Because that C is in front of an E. One of the rules with C is if it's in front of an E or an I, center. It makes the S sound. Hey, 11 minutes. Not too bad.